most guys, well, it's pretty much simple. If they have no problem with you, they basically come up behind you, just pat you on the back, they tear off your head. No, most of the time. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's another idea. Sometimes with the average handshakes that men like to do, the fisting up, you know, the fisting kind of thing, the handing kind of thing. Even messing up is funny, but every now and then you can act like the guy hit too hard, like this. Ah! And then you know, kind of nibble your ankle, nibble your wrist, like ow. Another thing you do is more stylized kind of high fives. High five. Reverse high five. And then, yeah. So, you know, give him two sure high fives, high five, reverse high five. Make him miss the third time, let him have it the next time. They usually get a good kick out of that. And then also remember, arm motions, sometimes you can always put into character things like fish shakes. Ow! Bite your hand. Another thing to do is actually when standing still. You're not always going to have a crowd all the time, but you want to find a way to actually get some people into get them in on the action, but you know, you're going to have downtime. So what do? The worst kind of mascot's the one that stands completely still. When you're standing completely still, you tend to attract people who are not so well intended. So you always want to do something to make your character human, or at least down to earth anyway. So let's say you're waiting by a bus stop, or some manager's got you actually walking down the sidewalk trying to flag people down their business. It's like, what the heck do I do? Well, you do what most people do while they're waiting at a bus stop. Everyone has a tick or things they do when they're waiting around that they just don't notice because they're so used to doing it. People cough, they wipe their nose, they scratch their heads, they stutter back and forth, they look at their watch. So in your character costume, the best thing to do is actually look like you're waiting, but you make sure you exaggerate it a little bit. Occasionally sneeze. You do that? Mind you, if you're on the sidewalk, you may not want to do it all the way, but now that's a sneeze. That's definitely a sneeze.
I think he's allergic to animals.
What do you call an animal? Oh. Also, yes, dancing. Ladies love dancing. And often when you're already in a dance routine, if you're just doing something like this, especially for sidewalk shows that we've done before, ladies like to get into it. The only thing is, make sure, often other people are working around you, they're walking by you, so always keep an eye out for where they are. So also when you're dancing with someone, make sure you dance, but also exaggerate, but also step lightly. Even when he's shuffling his feet from side to side, he's not doing like big moves like this. Nothing too unpredictable that a person could get by without being tripped up. Another thing you could do, depends on where you went, certain things can make great props. Eventually you're walking down the street and you're waving people down, and somebody's coming into the business, or somebody's coming by you into a business next to you. Open the door for them. And just do a low, just do a low bow, just kind of like a courtesy person. Another great thing to do is if it's a rotating door, you just simply glide through it, of course, be gentle. You go through it, people, it's something whimsical like people like to see. What else can we cover? So basically using environment to your advantage. Remember again to step lightly. That's good, actually, that's a good point. Sound effects. Usually key to being costume character is not talking in costume. But it doesn't always cover sound effects if it's in character. We've seen several fursuits that have squeakers in their hands or in their mouths, and they make the certain squeaky sounds that people love so much. Use that to your advantage, blaming the part on somebody else. That's the last time you were going to talk about. Yeah, so that you can get away with things like that as long as it's in character to what it is. Obviously, talking in character is mostly forbidden, but some environments are more relaxed, just like this convention is. But in a professional gig, they usually say don't talk. But if you're supposed to talk and your character actually says that voice, that's a pretty cool gig. I want to know your name. steps to that. It's against custom. Ramming people in the gut is against the law.
Practice for a picture.
In there, right away. You know, it's like you'll have kids like, ah! You should as soon as you show them candy, like, ah! My precious! Candy is cheating, but it's legalized cheating. But there's a couple things you do to make it a little bit better when you do the interaction. That's not candy. Candy, show him the candy, and he'll kind of come up to get it. Come to get the candy. What you do then, put it behind your back, and turn it into a game. And just guess which hand it's in now. Nope. There you go. Of course, in the end run, they get the candy. Don't say, oh, sorry, you lose. So that'd be 5 Smarties now.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so anything you have to give out, you can always turn it into a game. That's something that they enjoy a lot. Just extra 5 seconds of momentary before they get on a sugar high. Parent pretty much appreciates that. There are a couple other caveats that I should talk about. Picking up children, every environment's different towards that. More than often than not, you're not allowed to pick up children. The exception is in some areas where you're supposed to sit down like an Easter bunny. Then it might be exception because, hey, how's he going to get up on your lap? I'm sorry, you must be this tall to run at me. Sorry, goodbye.
Babies.
Good point.
Babies.
Babies! How to handle babies. Always hold them off the side here, bringing as much as your cradle with your arm as you can, so as off to one side or the other, whichever your strong arm needs to become where his seat is, where his hand's on. Because often parents, when you're sitting down to do a photo shoot, and sometimes standing up if they allow it, is that you got to make sure that your strong arm becomes the seat, and supporting it with your other hand right here. Becomes a cradle, and then always make sure that the baby's facing forward for the shot. And it's kind of hard because you have to tilt your head, so always know where your costume head is kind of pointed ahead of time when you do shots like this. It's a big caveat, it messes up a lot of photos because this is really hard to maintain sometimes, poses. And the parents are like, oh, I'm sorry, I messed up, let me just adjust the settings, like, take the picture. But that's why you should do yoga. Because often
You're fired.
Bad baby.
Keep crying, baby.
you have the kind of mascot you are, if you have antlers, be a coat rack. Again, steez in their shirt, whatever they have that you can take off them. Pretend to do something with it and try to hand it back. Or play a game of monkey in the middle, but not too long.
Keep away.
And the kid goes after it, just make sure to remain relatively close. We're not trying to torture him too much. The animal itself. What dogs do and how to actually kind of animate them as a character or as a cartoon. This would be by watching cartoons and just studying the animal itself. Often, like I said, if you're sit like here inside Walmart just by yourself with no costume on, it looks weird. When you're in the dog costume, everything goes. Dogs always like to roll around the cement and go like this, and things like that. They like to scratch you.
Go ahead, give it a try.
And the kids like to come down and maybe scratch you sometimes. Like, yeah, just acting like the animal that you portray. And for Clifford, it's totally acceptable. Hey there, Mike.
Axel.
Axel.
Take 5? Good.
No, you got about 5 left.
Till what?
Flinters is coming in.
In emotion.
He's an artist,
Even just standing still again, you can scratch your ears because they do like that all the time. Cats and dogs hurt each other when they scratch. They go like this. Or even more so, you'd like in cartoons that go like this. Things like that really rile up the crowd.
Oh, it's backwards.
El pollo loco. I know you know. Baca, you know?
Balloon pop fail.
I just forgot that balloon pop that I did.
That was epic.
That was it?
Where's the kaboom? What's the shattering kaboom?
Okay, I have to make space for the guests of honor. So if you have any questions, any feedback, hey, I'm open to criticism. You can see me anytime, anywhere, when I'm out on the floor.
Thank you.
My muzzle is not dirty.